happy birthdays as well. You always find the latest courtyard in solution. Out of the box.
Hello and welcome to Radio Waves by Todderbert. Today I'll be reviewing my first ever Grundig radio. It is the Grundig Yacht Boy 207. It came packaged in this little cool pouch. Let's open it up. Purchased this radio for a grand total of $18.50 used off of eBay. And let's go over the details. Dimensions, 6 inches long, height, 3 5/8 inches, and a depth of 1 3/8 inches. Now, these radios usually go for a little bit more money than that. This particular radio was advertised as AM only, and it had a goofy aftermarket antenna. Let me see if I can find that to show you. It had this. And it was, if you can imagine, it was put in there and it was extending past the radio. I knew that wasn't correct. Something was up. So I thought it might be an easy fix. And I was wrong. It was not an easy fix and not a complete fix. So this review will showcase the Grundig Yacht Boy 207 in its medium wave glory. It still receives long wave, but I get no stations. The problem is it receives no FM. Could not find the fault anywhere. I checked all the points I could, spent hours on it, and I was able to bring alive all the shortwave channels. So this original was sold as AM only. Now it picks up all shortwave and AM. So I'm very happy that it does that, because to be honest with you, an FM radio I just don't need. I'd rather have a nice high sensitivity AM radio, which this one is, and a nice shortwave radio on the side. And this one does very well after my modification, which I'll show you in a little bit. So let's go ahead and go over the radio itself. Apologize for dust. When I got the radio, it had moisture inside the radio, or like damage on the dial, so I cleaned that off, and some dust got trapped under there still. I think the fault may have happened with the FM. The radio used a clip on the inside, and somehow somebody pulled the antenna out and the clip must have fell loose, shorted something out, and permanently destroyed some connection somewhere. So I wasn't able to find that at all. But again, I was able to bring back the shortwave, which was amazing after a lot of trial and error. Okay, so let's get rolling. Speaker is over here. It's kind of hidden. You'd think the whole thing is, but it's actually this little, I don't know if you can see it. It's about like that big, about 2-inch speaker, 1 3/4 inch speaker, about that big. And it sounds halfway decent. I like it. On our band scale, you can see it's showing 3.9 to 4, but it goes up to 5. When I go up here, I sometimes get the time signal when I go up to the top of that shortwave 1. And you can see all the different shortwave channels there and what they have. And of course, our the long wave, which I was surprised it had in there. There's actually 2 ferrite bar antennas, one for the long wave, one for the medium wave. Was really interesting. And our basic 530 to 1600 kilohertz on the medium wave. So you got a band selector here. And it's pretty cool. I love this like Yacht Boys like wave action, and this is like a bluish tinted plastic. It's really cool. I like that. And then if you can see it, let's see if I can get it to show you. Okay, so there's a little indicator way up there, and it's indicating where I'm at. See the little dot? And there's the shortwave numbers. All of that. See 8, 7. So you know where you're at pretty easily with this radio. I like that a lot. So I'm down the bottom changing it, but it's changing up there. Very handy. Power on off switch. Right side of the radio is our tuning knob, our volume control. Tuning is fairly easy. It can be a little stiff sometimes when you're trying to fine tune it, but not too bad. Bottom of the radio has a battery door here. It takes 2 AA batteries. I won't open it up and show you. It's pretty basic. Back of the radio, we have a frequency chart. There you go. You can pause if you want to look at all that information. We have a kickstand, which is broken on mine. It opens, but then I gotta be careful when I close it. It actually will stand on it, but one side is cracked off. But you can see the information on the bottom there. Some, I don't know what symbols these are. Is that a German symbol? It's pretty cool. And yeah, so my first Grundig, I'm pretty happy with it. Even with its little defects, I was able to bring it back to life. So let's go to the left side of the radio and you'll see what I've done. Ta-da! So that is not a normal product right there. That is a modification I did. We'll go over that in a second. We have a DC in of 3 volts, a basic. We have a headphone jack, which is mono, but both ears. This is great on the medium wave. If you get a radio like this, use it. You're going to find so many stations. I have this jack. Once I found out what my fault was, that the FM was completely dead, because I had spent so long thinking that if the FM was dead, the shortwave was dead. But I was wrong. I inadvertently had switched it to shortwave while I was testing, and all of a sudden the channel started coming alive wherever I was putting the probe, so the antenna pad actually started working. So what I did is I installed the familiar 3.5mm jack, summed up the channels, and now when I plug in my 21-foot Sanjin or my homemade 40-foot wire I have up, I get shortwave crystal clear. Love it. So with that said, we'll go through the radio, we'll do some searching on the medium wave and see what this little puppy can do. Oh yeah, and there's a tuning indicator here, a little red light will go on when we're in tune. So let's see what it sounds like. The Yacht Boy 207. We'll start at the bottom of the band.
Himself or herself as a moderate. It's become something of a dirty word.
So I think that's the 650 WSN. It's coming in clear earlier. Changing tonight. Won't spend too long on that because the last video I got dinged with a copyright on my AM radio. I love it.
I'm from Earth, and so are you.
Go. Absolutely. I put down at that junction.
Local 670 AM.
The heat bump won't be how they played, and it's kind of snowballed. Spend some, comfortably outdoors.
Selectivity is amazing on this radio. Because there's some strong stations really close.
Taking to the streets, people get annoyed when traffic gets shut down. The very provocative Madonna burning up Rafaela Cara a far l'amore comincia too. Next, something smooth.
This weekend on the Chris Robinson Travel Show. Discover
This is Zoomer Radio 740.
Bay St. Lucia, casually Caribbean, incredibly all-inclusive.
The Olympics, that's what we were talking about. They say the Olympics is been gone. And I still just, it's so, brings such, when you talk about Teddy, it makes me so happy to listen to your wonderful stories.
minutes, though, here to downtown 16 in from the junction outbound.
So this is my local station, 780. So I have 720 and 780 that are very big, bright stations, but I was able to pick up those 3 or 4 faint stations in between, which was nice.
Computer. The EAS tone has been...
Quelqu'un comme Carly Sortino, elle démontre par l'exemple qu'elle n'est pas une victime et qu'elle peut vivre sa sexualité sans parler ouvertement sans être une victime et elle ne condamne pas les hommes du tout. Donc je pense qu'elle crée un contexte de dialogue pour moi.
Sounds like our Toronto station, 8:60 a.m.
During the afternoon, high 38. Periods of snow Tuesday night. Most areas picking up an inch or two, but 2 to 4 inches north and west of 287. Above a low around 30. A few lingering snow showers Wednesday morning. Otherwise, clouds giving way to some sun. High 36. Sunny to partly cloudy and cold on Thursday. High 34. I'm meteorologist Matt Rindy in the WCBS Weather Center.
22 degrees in Yonkers, 19 in Greenwich, it's 25 in Manhattan. It feels more like 19. WCBS News Time, 12:40.
Everyone knows the national debt is now over $20 trillion. What happens next?
Yay for a fire station, New York City.
Some experts say another crash is
coming. Awesome.
What will be left of your investments for your children and grandchildren? You can fight this.
And he said, well, I'm sorry, I can't help it, but, you know, wonderful to me.
A lot of stations gotta go slow. I'm always fascinated when I find music on the AM band. I want to find out what it is. It's always a challenge.
Time and not panic time.
Local.
There are a lot of red flags.
The stations jumped up there.
Hey, it's Marty Griffin. Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
George Bush Jr. campaigned for her.
Yeah, I know.
Probably St. Louis KMX, I'm guessing. 11:20. Coming in clear.
Some families so desperate they climbed into manholes.
Yeah.
Not good. It's terrible.
Given purpose, and you have eternal value. Absorb this truth.
Stop it, but he can't. That's right. Roman says, is there any truth to what I just said?
No.
Is there any truth to what I just said?
No, not at all.
I just said,
No.
all the Democrats and half the Republicans are against Trump.
No.
Oh. Havelock guys to do that every time. Those are two very different things. And in the process.
Yeah, sensitive radio, it's great.
Is the very thing that is the difference in their life. It's another thing too. If this book
And I think the question was, if you had someone under you.
Okay, we could spend a lot of time on there. Let's just quick, we're going to go to the shortwave real fast and see if we can find anything. What we're going to do is I have a 3-foot wire. I'm just going to plug in right here, and we should be able to pick up something. Right now we're getting the clock signal, 5 megahertz. Cool. Get some local ham operators. A little bit of shortwave too. Probably Cuban stations. Go to 3. Go to 4. With a longer wire, I'll pick up the 10 megahertz signal too for the time. So we'll stop it there. Probably not going to pick up much in the other bands. Today, though, I was able to pick up with my 40-foot wire about 8 or 9 stations on the shortwave during the early evening around 5 or 6 p.m. Central Time, and then last night 3 in the morning, I was able to pick up quite a few stations with my longer wire. So yeah, definitely awesome. Go ahead and turn this off. Yeah, this radio for $18.50 was worth the gamble. I wasn't sure if I could get it fixed. I figured I'd have an $18.50 AM radio that hopefully was decent, and it is a very decent AM radio. But I kind of wanted a little extra out of it, and I was able to do that by doing this modification. I got all my Shortwave is working on here, which is awesome. I compared it to my smaller units like the Skywave and the Texans I own, my smaller Texans, and it performed the same when I hooked up my external antenna. So yeah, it's really cool to have. As you saw, I just had a 3-foot wire, just a simple patch cable, plugged it in, extended it, so I don't need to worry about a whip anymore. I'm not even going to bother. I might just find a way to wrap up a wire and keep it in the bag all the time, and then I'm ready to go where I'm at. I can have a short wire and I can have a longer wire depending on my circumstance. I don't have to play around with a whip antenna. So yeah, it's a really cool mod. If you get one of these radios and you're like, hey, I like that idea, I'll be honest with you, that's not for the faint of heart. To get this to work, you have to trim first the plastic on the inside tray, which is not too big a deal, but it comes to, this extends pretty far and your PCB comes out over here. So I actually had to trim the PCB board to accommodate the jack, so when I closed it, I could do it in one action. So I could have the jack mounted as I closed it. So just keep that in mind. If you do want to perform this on a 207, you're going to have to modify your PCB board. So, well, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this video of the Yacht Boy 207. I love this little radio. My camera cut me off again, but let me just go into saying that yes, I do love this radio. For $18.50, I was very happy. My first Grundig Yacht Boy 207, modified to get my Shortwave back. Medium wave sensitivity, awesome. These wheels are really easy to use. It's just a great, solid little radio. I'm gonna look for a better example, with a included antenna, so I can test the FM. And I already told you about the headphone port being really good. So there it is. I recommend this as a buy if you see a Yacht Boy 207. I don't know what they sell for typically. Like I said, I got mine for under $20 because I had issues, but I'm gonna say it's probably like a $30 to $40 radio on the used market. And if everything is working, I would say that's still a great buy for a pure analog, because the reception is fantastic. And I'm sure you'll get the same reception if you clipped a wire to your antenna without having to do a modification like that. So with that said, I'd like you to check out my Patreon link down below for those who want to donate or pledge to this channel. It really means a lot to me. I'm having people I don't even know joining up, and I'm just finding it very exciting. Over there we have a forum. We're posting different information, things we find, different categories for the radios. You'll see there, Insider is where I take the radios apart and I show pictures and different things and unique aspects of the radios, and repairs, showing different repairs I've done. So it's just a great little community. I'm enjoying it. So if you feel inclined to help out or pledge, by all means, check it out. I'm trying to give back to the community because I don't need all these radios in a box sitting in my closet. So I actually want to start giving these back. So once I hit my first goal, every month I'm going to give one of these radios away, and maybe it'll be this one. So my first one's going to be my CC radio EP. So that's a $85 radio new. So keep that in mind. I appreciate all the help. Thank you. Take care, and bye-bye.